Breaking, Venezuelan jets make a direct attack run toward USS Gerald R. Ford.
It is 7:42 a.m. over the Caribbean Sea. About 140 miles north of Venezuela, the USS Gerald R. Ford moves through calm water at 20 knots. The morning feels routine. The flight deck is steady. Sailors move without urgency. That calm breaks in seconds. Two fast-moving aircraft burst out of the low clouds, flying so low their shadows ripple across the ocean. They are Venezuelan K-8 attack jets under 2,000 feet, engines screaming, closing straight toward the carrier group. No radio calls, no warning. The lead jet suddenly drops even lower. Its nose dips. Its flight path aligns with the forward escort ships. Speed stays high. This is not a flyby. This looks like an attack approach, the kind used to force a target to react before impact. The second jet follows tight, crossing the carrier's bow at dangerous distance. On deck, sailors freeze. Below, radar alarms light up. Distances collapse fast. Tracking systems snap on automatically, locking the jets in real time. Every second now carries weight. The carrier does not turn. It does not slow. From the bridge, the order is firm and immediate. Maintain heading. This is the first critical moment. A simulated strike aimed at a nuclear carrier. One wrong move here could turn intimidation into disaster. The jets believe aggression will force control. They are about to learn what happens when pressure meets discipline. If you want to follow what happens next as this situation escalates, make sure you stay with us and subscribe now. What unfolded over the Caribbean was not an accident, and it was not driven by confusion. This area of sea sits along one of the most closely watched corridors in the region. Commercial traffic moves through it daily. Military patrols pass through it routinely. Radar coverage here never sleeps. When a carrier like the USS Gerald R. Ford enters this space, every move is observed, timed, and measured. For Venezuela, sending light attack jets toward a carrier is not about winning a fight. Those aircraft are not built to sink a carrier. They are built to test behavior. How close can they get before the carrier turns? How fast do escorts shift position? Do defense systems activate early or stay quiet? Each reaction gives answers without a single shot fired. This is how pressure is applied in modern confrontations. But for the crew on board, the meaning is very different. This is not theory. This is speed, distance, and closing angles happening in real time. A jet flying low and fast does not leave room for debate. One pilot mistake or one misread command can turn a warning pass into wreckage in seconds. That risk is carried by the sailors standing watch, not by the politicians watching later. This is why restraint becomes a weapon. A carrier that flinches gives ground. A carrier that overreacts creates chaos. Holding course under threat sends a message that pressure alone will not dictate movement. It shows control in the exact moment when control is hardest to keep. This encounter sits in the narrow space between deterrence and disaster. Both sides understand that the next decision shapes everything that follows, not just here, but in every future encounter like it. If you believe the carrier was right to hold its line and not give in to pressure, press 1 inch the comments. If you think a stronger response was needed to stop the jets, press 9 and subscribe to stay with us as this situation continues to unfold. As the jets pull up from their attack run, the picture does not calm down. It sharpens. Inside the Combat Information Center, radar tracks stabilize and multiply. What began as 2 contacts now shows 4. Same direction, same speed, same intent. No identification signals, no reply to open hails. The screen updates every second, and every update confirms the same thing. This encounter is not over. A controller leans closer to his console. Range ticks down. 40 miles. 35. The room stays quiet, but the posture changes. This is the first real response phase. Not emotional, not rushed, trained. On the flight deck, movement accelerates without shouting. Yellow shirts step forward, engines spool up. 2 FA-18E. Super Hornets are brought online and rolled toward the catapult. Wings spread. Final checks run fast and clean. A hand signal. A pause. Then the deck shakes as the first jet launches into the sky, followed seconds later by the second. They climb hard, turning toward the incoming tracks. Above the water, the Super Hornets level out and push forward. Their job is clear: intercept, identify, control the airspace. Nothing more, nothing less. In their helmets, data flows in real time. Speed, altitude, bearing, every number matters now. Below them, the carrier group tightens. Escort ships adjust position, sliding forward and outward to widen the defensive screen. No sudden turns, no sharp movements. Everything stays smooth. This is deliberate. The goal is to show readiness without panic. At higher altitude, an E-2D Hawkeye circles wide, feeding a clean radar picture to every ship and aircraft in the group. The airspace above the sea becomes layered and controlled, even as the jets close in. From above, it looks calm. From inside the systems, it is anything but. The first radio contact crackles through. Short, direct. The Super Hornets identify the approaching aircraft and issue a clear warning. You are approaching a United States carrier group operating in international airspace. Turn away now. There is a brief pause. Then a reply comes back, tense and defiant, claiming the opposite. The distance keeps shrinking. Speeds stay high. No one breaks off. This is the moment where restraint and reaction must balance perfectly. The first response is complete. What happens next will decide whether control holds or slips. The intercept does not slow the situation. It tightens it. At altitude, the Super Hornets slide into position off the Venezuelan jet's wings. Close enough to see markings. Close enough to read body language through the canopy. The spacing is dangerous. Speeds hold high. No one blinks. The ocean below stays calm, but the air above it feels crowded and thin. One of the Venezuelan jets banks sharply, cutting across the American lead at an unsafe angle. Collision alerts flash. A voice in the cockpit stays flat. Watch your spacing. The reply from the other side is brief and dismissive. They do it again. Closer this time. Back on the carrier, radar tracks overlap. Lines converge. Distances compress to numbers that leave no margin. The bridge receives updates every few seconds. The carrier still does not turn. The escorts move again, tightening the screen by small degrees. These adjustments matter. In close encounters, even a few degrees of movement can change outcomes. There is a pause. No radio traffic. No sudden moves. Only engines and wind. Then one Venezuelan jet drops. Not a full dive, just enough to signal intent. Altitude falls quickly. Speed stays high. The flight path lines up toward the carrier group again. This is no show for cameras. This is pressure applied at the edge of safety. Inside the ship, defensive systems track automatically. Nothing fires, nothing locks, everything records. The decision to stay silent is active, not passive. It takes effort to hold back when every system is ready. Up above, the Super Hornets adjust, sliding to keep position without provoking a chase. They mirror every move. No sudden turns, no aggressive nose angles. Cameras run the entire time. Every second is captured. The Venezuelan jet pulls back up at the last moment and rejoins its wingman. The formation tightens again, almost daring another response. The air feels heavy. Everyone involved knows how close this has come. No one says it out loud. This is escalation without weapons. A contest of nerves. Each pass pushes the boundary a little farther, asking the same question again and again. Who moves first? And with every second that passes, the cost of a single mistake keeps climbing. Just when the pattern seems set, it breaks. One Venezuelan jet peels away from the group without warning. It does not climb. It drops. Altitude falls fast toward the water, speed holding steady. The move is sudden enough to force every system to recalculate. On the displays, the track bends sharply, no longer parallel, no longer neutral. This is the twist. The jet levels out low and lines up with the carrier group again, this time from a different angle. The approach is tighter. The timing is sharper. It looks like a clean run designed to slip under the intercept and force a decision at the last second. For a brief moment, even experienced operators hesitate. This path does not match the earlier passes. Inside the USS Gerald R. the air feels heavier. Consoles glow brighter as ranges update. The numbers drop faster now. There is no confusion about intent. This is a deliberate probe, meant to pull eyes and systems toward one direction while testing reactions elsewhere. Up in the air, the Super Hornets adjust, but they do not chase. Chasing would widen gaps. Instead, they hold position and watch the geometry change. Their pilots know what this is, a move designed to create a mistake. For the crew below, the danger is not what they see, it is what they do not yet know. Is this a lone move or a setup for something else? Is there another aircraft out of sight, waiting for attention to shift? The jet continues its low run for several long seconds, then snaps back up and rejoins its wingman. The formation reforms as if nothing happened. But the tone has changed. The message is clear. The rules are being bent, not broken, and that makes it more dangerous. No one relaxes. This encounter has entered a new phase, and everyone on both sides knows the margin just got thinner. The situation snaps tight. The low jet rolls inverted and dives again, this time steeper. Range drops under 5 miles. Altitude falls fast. Speed stays high. The track points straight through the forward escorts toward the carrier. Inside the ship, a calm voice marks the numbers as they change. 4 miles. 3. The room does not raise its volume. It tightens its focus. Defensive systems react before anyone speaks. A phalanx CIWS turret turns on its own, smooth and fast. The barrel follows the jet perfectly. Sensors lock. The system is ready. The only thing missing is a command. That command does not come. Above the water, the Super Hornets slide in behind the diving jet. No radar locks, no warning tones, just position and pressure. Their helmet cameras capture everything. The pilots can see the other aircraft clearly now. The pilot's head turns. Hands grip the stick hard. This is no longer distant. This is personal. The jet screams over the bow of an escort ship. The shockwave slaps the sea and rattles metal. Sailors feel it through the deck plates. The distance between aircraft collapses to a few hundred feet. For a moment, there is nothing but engine noise and moving air. "Hold your line," comes over the radio. Short, controlled. 10 seconds stretch out. No one moves first. No one fires. Every system stays ready and silent at the same time. The balance is fragile enough to break with a single reflex. Then the jet pulls up hard. It banks away at the last possible moment and rejoins the others. The climb is sharp. The noise fades just enough to breathe again. The phalanx turret slows and centers. The Super Hornets stay close, steady, and disciplined. Nothing explodes. No flares light the sky. No missiles leave rails. That is the climax. A moment where power is measured not by what is used, but by what is held back. Everyone involved knows how close this came. Everyone also knows that the hardest part is not winning the moment. It is keeping control when the moment demands release. The airspace remains crowded. The tension does not leave. It simply changes shape, waiting to see what comes next. As the noise fades, the air over the Caribbean settles back into an uneasy calm. The Venezuelan jets turn south, speed easing as the distance opens. On the radar screens, their tracks stretch, thin, and finally vanish. The USS Gerald R. Forward never changes course. Speed remains steady. Heading stays locked. From above, it looks like a normal patrol. Inside, everyone knows how close it came. Every second of the encounter is now data. Flight paths, altitudes, radio calls, radar spikes, infrared signatures. Nothing is wasted. Analysts care less about the near miss and more about what it revealed. How far the jets were willing to push. How late they pulled away. What kind of pressure they believed might force movement. These details shape how the next encounter will be handled. Not long after, a different version of the story appears on screens back on land. Venezuelan state television claims the carrier was forced back. The numbers say otherwise. No course change, no retreat. No break in formation. In Washington, the footage is reviewed frame by frame. The conclusion is clear. This was not a failed attack. It was a calculated pressure test that did not get the reaction it wanted. The impact reaches beyond this one morning. Modern confrontations are no longer announced by missiles or sirens. They begin with risk, low passes, unsafe angles, split-second decisions meant to probe discipline. a billion-dollar ship can be challenged by a far cheaper aircraft, not to win, but to see how it behaves under stress. For the crew, the day goes on. Watches rotate, jets recover. The sea looks unchanged, but the lesson stays sharp. Control, not aggression, kept this moment from becoming a crisis. And next time, the margin may be even thinner. If you think restraint and discipline are what truly keep peace at sea, press 1" the comments. If you believe stronger action is needed to stop these challenges before they escalate, press 9. And subscribe to stay with us for what comes next.